Spare a coin for the infant.
Where? Oh, he's over there.
Hurry up before I change my mind.
People of the Docks District are delightful, aren't they? Ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, welcome back to Let's Play Oblivion again. With Jazir, whose necklace, for some reason, looks weird. Don't know why. It's like the fog shader hasn't been applied to it for some reason. I don't know why. I just loaded up the game, and it's like that. And I don't know why. It's weird, but there it is. Whatever. Jazir's in the docks. He's at the waterfront, and I still have bloody collision turned off. Whoops. He's using that to
hardly seem worth talking to.
Film the intro bit, and wow, people do not like us, do they? In this neck of the woods. I like that you could actually loot this barrel, though. That's hilarious. What's that about? Oh, wow, look, there's the aqueduct. Which, again, unfortunately, sort of disappears into the background. Because of the distant terrain problem we had. Still, pretty nice. Anyway, we're in the waterfront because Jazir wanted to come along and look at the ships and stuff. And then he found this place, the Bloated Float, which seems to be some sort of floating tavern, which is a concept that I think he kind of thinks is hilarious, and he approves of it greatly, so we're going to go in.
It's you. Hi. Move out of my way.
Such a nice person.
We rarely get real trouble here. The Watch puts a stop to rough stuff damn quick. I'm mostly ornamental at the Bloated Float. Makes folks happy.
I see. So he's a bouncer, basically. Not that you see a lot of them around in this game, in other taverns and stuff. He's pretty much the only one, right?
The Imperial Watch seems awfully worried about the Grey Fox. Look at all those wanted posters. I'm through talking to you.
Hello.
What can I do for you?
Hello.
Hello there. I'm Vilja. Are you by any chance the person Melinda told me about?
Melinda?
Yes, my sister Melinda, owner of Melinda's beauty shop in Vivek. You're from Morrowind, aren't you?
Yeah, well, Jazir has been to Morrowind some time ago, but not recently, no.
So you're not the one then? Oh dear. I'm starting to get really concerned over this.
Jazir is sorry, but he has other things to do, money to spend, places to go, you know, that sort of thing. I will leave you to whatever it is you are doing.
Oh, I was hoping. You see, I desperately need to travel, but I cannot do it on my own. Oh well. Thank you for listening. Goodbye.
Toodle pip.
What can I do for you?
Good sir, with the ridiculous hair.
Well met. Welcome to the Bloated Float. She's the finest inn on the water in all Cyrodiil.
And possibly the only one, if I am correct in assuming this.
Can I interest you in some of my wares?
I think we're actually hungry and thirsty right now, according to the check I did before I hit the record button in the inventory. So, ale, beer, coffee, and bread, cheese, and a strawberry. Why not? House who has an alien coin and lots of bowls and jugs and things for some reason. I'm not sure what the deal with that is. Does Jazir have to buy his cutlery separately from the meal? This is a very strange arrangement. Cheers.
Thank you for your patronage. Farewell.
I think we'll just take a seat over here somewhere. Oh, knocking the plates around as usual. Are we slightly hungry, slightly thirsty, slightly tired? Yeah, I think I still need to go into the INI files and sort of maybe adjust the rates at which those progress a bit. So, beer, ale, Damage, health, poison. No. Let's not do that. Bread. Eel meat. Cheese. There it is. And a strawberry. Cool. We're seeing ever so slightly double now.
Looking at me like that?
But we are now only slightly tired.
There should be some kind of
Dude!
security block on scrolls.
You can't just go
Once I
around coughing on
accidentally
people.
got an accident. Lightning bolts can be really devastating inside a shop.
Interesting. Take care.
Anytime.
Interesting. Take care and please leave
What
my
can I do for you?
establishment before you start throwing lightning bolts everywhere. Let's see, it's 5:14 p.m. So I think Jazeera, let's say that he hung around for a couple of hours. He eats dinner, talks to the owner, talks to the bouncer dude, and just decides, Jazeera kind of likes this place. Jazeera will stay here for the night.
How are you?
Oh, there's plenty of people around as well, apparently. This is a popular
Hurry up
venue,
before I
it would
change
seem.
My mind. Uzul Grogulam. I'm courting Mavrina Arano, so stay away from her. I got matrimony on my mind. Hard to find an orc girl in this city like Uma Gramarad. Smart, tough, got a good trade. Nice looking, too. So I gotta make my intentions clear.
I thought you said you... No. Never mind.
I know that Dovanaran is getting up there in years, but he still knows a bit about alteration. Leave me alone.
Leave me alone.
Aren't you an ugly one?
Absolute pandemonium. Plates flying everywhere.
It's you.
Who's this dude?
Hi.
Ah, welcome. Are you here for business or perhaps business?
Jazeera does not like what you are insinuating. What is the difference?
Well, it depends on what you've come to buy. On one hand, you could simply be here to sample my wide range of rare and expensive literature. But on the other hand, perhaps you are here for the business of a much more delicate matter. If you wish, I can take you to the goods themselves, and you can meet face to face.
Meet them? You mean you sell people?
What, are you an idiot or something? Keep your damn voice down. You want the entire Imperial Legion breathing down our necks?
But is it slavery illegal?
Of course it's illegal. If you're not here to buy anything, then leave me alone and don't tell anyone. Come back soon.
This is... Someone should arrest this man.
How goes it?
This guy. I'm thinking about, like, following this dude. See where he goes. See where he's keeping his slaves and see if we can try and free them. Because
Any
Jazeera
news?
is not...
Venezia Melissaia takes
does not approve of slavery, to put it lightly.
She takes all the complaints, but nothing ever seems to happen.
What can I do for
me
you?
alone.
Hello.
He'd consider
Emperor
starting a
and
fight
his
with the guy,
three
actually, to be honest with you, if it
sons
went for the fact there's
dead,
like
right
2
under the
watchmen in
noses of the
here.
Imperial
So,
Guard.
oh hello.
It's a disgrace.
Well met.
A brave and undependable level 15 barbarian. Join party?
Sorry.
No, I didn't think so.
Heard
Random
any
adventurer
news from
wandered
the
in
other
as well,
provinces?
much like ourselves.
Nothing I'd like to talk
Look on the
about.
top shelf
Enough
there.
talk.
Shelf? The top.
What do you want?
Whatever that's called, that bit up there.
What can I do?
Balcony? Not sure.
It's you.
Well met.
Yes, sir, we've already had the speech, dude. I'd like a bed for the night.
There's a room, all right, and a fine room it is. Yours for the night for only 10 gold.
Alright.
A wise choice indeed. You've never had a night's rest like this, I assure you. The room is down below deck. It's the door on the left.
Jazeera has slept on plenty of boats. He does not know what you're talking about.
How are you?
Some people are leaving.
Wait.
How
If
do
you
you
Oh,
need
the
to
city
get rid of
watchman is
something,
following the
you
slave
watch
guy.
your
Ah,
music
maybe that's good news, huh?
Vergayun is the book of data.
Thornir is quite
It's
a
an
character.
interesting study.
He's dirty and
I've not read
underhanded,
that yet.
but he provides
It's a
the
shame there
service.
isn't more time to spend
Oh,
with
it's
good
fallen down now.
dogs.
What's the news from the other... My name is Methrodale. I've come to the Imperial City to make my fortunes.
Ah, that makes two of us. Jazir has also... Well, Jazir mostly has just lost a fortune, but... yeah, you know. Swings and roundabouts and all that.
I think I'll do just fine. I'm a natural. Finders keepers, right? And I'm a pretty good finder.
Mm-hmm.
Those wanted posters of the Grey Fox are everywhere.
Nothing I'd
seeing
like to
you.
talk about.
Good day.
Who's this dude?
Uzul Grogrulam. I'm courting Mavrina.
Oh, we've already spoken to you. You were wearing different clothes, though. Yeah, you were wearing like fur armor and stuff. You seem to have changed out of that now. Imagine my confusion. Hello. Oh
I'm
my god, did you
Bronsola
see that?
and I'm so sick of that Vlanaris I could scream.
Pleased to meet you as well.
I've worked on the docks as long as Vlanaris, but he thinks he's the expert. He's always looking over my shoulder. Do it this way, do it that way.
Mm-hmm.
Go ahead.
Samuel Bantian used to be a wild...
Crocker is getting thrown all over the place. We're having a good time. This is great.
It's true that he's settled down.
Want me not talk to
Still,
you?
he
Oh,
can
this
teach
guy,
you
I
the
suppose, but...
basics.
Go ahead, please. Master Umbacano is a fine gentleman. Mad for old Aliad stuff, true, but he's got the dosh, so it's all right, ain't it?
Jazir will make a mental note of that.
Uh-huh. Whatever you say.
In case Jazir finds any ancient alien stuff.
Fine, be that way.
Right, let's go turn in for the night. This way. Well, Jazir has certainly had worse. But what it lacks in upholstery, it makes up for in nostalgia value, shall we say. 5 hours of sleep. Let's get more than 5 hours, shall we? Call it 10 or something. I've awakened to find that the bloated float has somehow put to sea with myself on board. I need to find the owner and discover what's happened. Yeah, I think we'll definitely make that our active quest. What is going on? Why are we at...
Hey, who in Oblivion are you? You don't look like one of the Blackwater brigands.
Just a passenger.
What? I was told there are only 2 others on board. I locked the bouncer in the storage room, and she has the owner. So that leaves you. Now I'll ask again. Who are you?
I am a member of your gang.
There's no one else in our group except the 4 of us. The Blackwater Brigands don't just take on new members out of the clear blue sky. When we formed the Brigands 3 months ago, I was told no more than a 4-way split on all the profits. So stop telling lies and tell me what you're doing here.
Jazir is getting tired of this.
Then perhaps my sword can find the words that your mouth cannot.
All right, you, sir.
Yeah!
I've killed a thief named Lynch. Apparently, he's a member of some group calling themselves the Blackwater Brigands. They must have hijacked the bloated float and put her out to sea. It appears that Lynch has locked the bloated float bouncer in the storage room. I should search his body and see if there's a key to free him. Very well. Okay, the dude has apparently disassembled his arrows, or he hadn't put them together yet because he's just got a bunch of shafts and steel arrowheads. Storage room key, Lynch's instructions. Let's have a look at these, shall we? Lynch, your instructions are to make your way to the bottom deck of the ship and secure all of the rooms there. Make sure you don't disturb Minx. She's to be left alone to do her assignment. Remember, after the ship is scuttled, we'll meet back in Breville in 3 days. Make sure you destroy this note after you memorize it. Idiot, apparently. Right. Jazir is going to get changed. Put some armor on, get our shield out. Shall we? Probably a good idea. Put my cape on with it as well. How dashing. It kind of clips horribly, doesn't it? It's a bit of a shame. The black cape works much better, though, actually. So, yeah, alright then. Don't know why we'd put on a cape other than to look very swish. And, of course, Jazir is all about looking swish. So, fair enough, I guess.
About time someone showed up. Thank you for freeing me. I'm Grumman Gromarad, the Bloated Float's bouncer and helmsman. I've been locked in that storage room for hours.
Yes, we have been previously acquainted.
What's going on, but not long ago, a gang of thieves calling themselves the Blackwater Brigands stormed the ship. They took myself and Ormil, the float's owner, hostage and put the ship to sea. I have no idea what they're after. If you can get me safely to the top deck, I can steer the float home. But I'm not budging until the coast is clear. I'm used to dealing with drunken louts, not a gang of well-armed thieves.
Blackwater Brigands, you say?
All I know is there seems to be 4 of them. They blindfolded me before they put me in here, so I didn't see much.
The Bloated Float. Alright, yeah, that's where we are.
The float has 3 decks. This deck is the inn deck. The next level up is the tavern deck. And then there's the top deck.
Jazir is not sure these are precisely accurate nautical terms, but he is not a sailor, so we can forgive this. Right, Jazir is not going to waste time trying to talk to these people. I think he's just going to do them in.
Oh, there. Where do
Never
you
mind.
think you're going? Celine's not going to like this one bit. I wasn't to be disturbed.
I'm getting off this boat.
The only way you're getting off this boat is when we throw your corpse over the side.
Oh no, an uppity Dunmer. Whatever shall I do? Oh, face planted right into the chair. How satisfying. I've killed a second thief. This one a dark elf named Minx. Seems like these thieves are using strange code names. The only useful bit of advice I discovered is that their leader seems to be named Celine. I should search her belongings for anything of use, then blah 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 blah, so on and so forth. A sweet roll. Don't mind if I do. Key, gold coin, and you can keep that collection of feathers that you have for some reason. Oh. You have made Jazir jump.
I'll wait on the tavern deck until you clear the top deck. That's where the ship's wheel is located. I thought I heard an Imperial woman's voice while I was blindfolded. Other than that, I don't know much more about her. I await your return, if you return.
Jazir is definitely planning on it. Oh, we are at sea, okay. That's for sure. Not much of a wind, though, by the looks of things. Which means, I suppose, we are not going anywhere anytime fast. Also, I seem to be at the wrong end of the ship.
Top deck clear yet?
Not yet. One moment.
Are you here to challenge me? I don't think so.
Well, this is awkward.
Yeah!
There we go. He was apparently a large Nord named Wrath, although we never really found that out because he just sort of stood there and waited for us to strike the first blow, I suppose. Oh, another fine steel longsword. Already got one, though. The cabin key, excellent. Okay. Okay, so here is the wheel. You cannot really see where you are going in this ship, can you? But I suppose it was never meant to actually sail anywhere.
Top. Sounds like the coast is clear, so I'll make my way up to the ship's wheel. But I'm not moving this hulk an inch until Ormil is safe.
Don't think you're moving this hulk an inch until the wind has picked up, my friend. But anyway.
Their leader sounds dangerous.
No empty canteens. Oh, tragic. Actually, do we need a drink at all? Slightly hungry, slightly thirsty. Let's just have a quick snifter of... There we go. Haven't quick saved in a while, have I?
Get in here.
Shut up and release Ormil at once.
Ha! Those will be the last words that leave your lips.
Okay, well, I'm just going to quickly use a damage health poison and quaff a shield potion, I think. I've decided to kill Celine. Now that she's dead, I should speak to Ormil. Oh, one moment, folks. I'll be right back. Right, I'm back. My little furry sidekick, Colin, was jumping up and down at the office door, at the handle, trying to open the door repeatedly and meowing a lot. Little hooligan. I've let him in now. He's sat in his corner on top of his box, looking at me with disdain. Anyway, sorry for that brief interlude. He was making lots of noise in the background, and I was struggling to ignore it. Right. Blood leather gauntlets and blood leather boots. Don't mind if I do. Hello, Ormil.
Oh, thank goodness. That horrid woman kept threatening me. She said if I didn't come up with a loot, she'd throw me to the slaughterfish.
What can you tell me about her?
It's a pity she wouldn't surrender. Such a waste of a young life.
What about the Blackwater Brigands?
Well, I'm afraid all of this was my fault. They hijacked the Bloated float because of me. Business has been waning of late, so I invented a story. I fashioned a tale about a golden galleon that the previous owner hid within this very vessel. It was to be a statuette made completely of gold. At the time, the idea was quite clever, I thought. I figured the lore would draw more curiosity seekers and adventurers looking for the treasure. What could the harm be if while they were here, they bought a drink or two? My business has increased quite a bit since I leaked the story. Well, obviously, I was mistaken. It was a terrible idea. I'm just glad that no innocents were hurt. I wouldn't want to have their blood on my hands. Anyway, sorry to ramble. You better get below now and rest until we arrive safely at the Imperial City docks. I'm glad that you were on board to help rid me of them. If you hadn't been here, I don't even want to think about it. I'll turn over her body and the bodies of her compatriots when we arrive at the Imperial City. Don't let it trouble you, friend. You've already got the room.
Yeah, okay.
Please, go get some rest.
You're welcome, Ormil. Kind of wine you were drinking here. Not too bad. Oh, he's got even more. And he's just left the room. No, this would be silly. Oh my god. Okay. The cat's climbing on the back of my chair. If you heard some weird noises in the background there, that's what that was. A fancy sword. The Blackwater Blade. Absorb fatigue, 20 points for 1 second on strike. It's like a fine steel longsword, but better. Also has a cool green glow. Look at that. That's cool. I do like that, I have to admit. That's a neat effect. I don't know what mod it is I've got installed that adds sort of magical effects to weapons, but I like it. Nice. Alright, well. See you later, Ormil. How about those nice boots and stuff, though? I don't know if they're actually an improvement over the ones we've got at the minute. I mean, technically they're not, but they might prove to be a slightly better if we level up our what do you call it? Level up our light armor skill. I had a total brain fart there. Red boots and red gauntlets. I'm not sure I like the look of that, though, actually. Kind of looks a bit silly. So Jazir will probably just sell them. Oh, hello. Alright, so let's rest during the journey back, I suppose. Don't know how long that's going to actually take, but apparently we need 2 more hours of sleep, so rest for 4, I guess. The Bloated float has arrived back at the Imperial City. I should speak with Ormil before I disembark. Marvellous. The crockery is going on an adventure. The bouncer is out of here. Don't blame him.
You're awake. Good. I didn't want to disturb you. I suppose you're wondering what I did with Celine.
Not really.
The authorities at the Imperial City took her off the ship as soon as we docked. I was also informed that there was a reward for her capture. Here you go. Don't spend it all in one place. Unless it's here, of course.
75 gold? That's all she was worth?
Yes. The float is quite a vessel, don't you think? The only functioning tavern and inn on the water in all of Cyrodiil. Bought it maybe 10 years ago when it was decommissioned. Had to gut the whole thing to make room, but kept it seaworthy. All the furnishings were built inside the ship, since they were too big to be carried on board. Spared no expense. She was a ruthless woman, and I'm glad she's gone. Such a waste. Farewell, my friend.
I just noticed that his hair clips into the ceiling there. That's quite amusing. Oh, tell you what, let's just pretend that you got changed before coming back up here, huh? Let's wear the crumbs, I don't know. The red velvet outfit with the cape and skin boots? Gold trim shoes? Yeah, gold trim shoes. Get rid of the damn gloves, there we go. And then the shield, actually, as well, there we go. That's better. Looking much more civilized now. And this lady's still here. Interesting.
Oh, you're back. I was hoping that you would return, and that you would at least listen to my story.
The return in general, or return on the boat, which was, of course, missing? You are lucky you were not taken captive as well. Go on, then. Fine.
It's a long story, I'm afraid. You see, my sister has an alchemist store in the Vivek city of Morrowind. She has specialized in making creams that will smoothen the skin and make women look prettier and younger, dearly needed by the dumber upper-class ladies. The business has been quite a success, but then my sister couldn't resist buying cheap ingredients from a shady Kai trader. This was a disaster. You see, those who have used her cream have now developed a furry face with whiskers.
I can imagine Jazir would be just guffawing silently with this knowledge. Just oh dear, how tragic.
My sister has been thrown in prison, on bread and water, and the mob wants her head on a plate. She has written to me in desperation. You see, there is a cure for these horrible symptoms, but to make that cure, she needs ingredients that can only be found here in Cyrodiil. She has asked me to gather the ingredients, but I'm not skilled enough at fighting to survive in the dangerous places on my own. She promised that a friend of hers would come and help me, but I've waited here for weeks now, and no one has showed up.
Well, Jazir has to go to Shading Hall and also Anvil and also the mountains near Shading Hall in order to find some lost person that was from a caravan. Long story. Also one or two other things. You could come with Jazir. He will not pay you, though.
I can. You will protect me. That would be ever so kind of you. I don't know where to find what I'm looking for, so the best thing is that you just let me come along and I'll search for the ingredients while we travel. It's really very kind of you. I'm so grateful.
Right, so this is Vilja, and she's a AI NPC companion from a mod. Very, very, very good one, actually, as well. Kind of a pretty old mod from, like, 2009 or whatever, but still, like, probably the best AI companion mod for Oblivion, hands down. So, the reason I installed Vilja is because, well, for one thing, I'm just going to sort of interrupt the playthrough here with a little bit of a speech about this, because, anyway, I decided to install Vilja for a couple of reasons. One is that one of my favourite mods, actually. I remember being really, really super impressed with this mod back in the day. I remember it being featured in a copy of PC Gamer, I think I got once. I vaguely remember. I don't know if this actually happened. It was so long ago. It's one of those things where I can't remember if this actually happened or if I'm just misremembering a bunch of stuff. But I'm pretty sure there was an edition of PC Gamer that had a whole slew of Oblivion mods spotlighted in it, in a whole sort of feature article. And back then, PC Gamer used to come with a physical disc, which usually contained a whole bunch of patches for games, because that's one of the ways developers put patches for their games out there. Is actually in discs that came with gaming magazines. But on this particular issue, there were a whole bunch of awesome mods for Oblivion that came on the disc as well. I remember there was one that sort of changed the weather, and there was one that made all the plants and stuff in the game bigger. And I'm reasonably sure that Vilja came on one of these discs, I think, along with a few other mods, and I was super impressed by it. And I was doing this playthrough here with Jazir, and we started off. We were in Leowin, and then we met Mazoga the Orc, and we went around sort of adventuring with Mazoga for a bit, and then said goodbye, made our way to the Imperial City here. And I was just kind of thinking to myself that I really enjoyed the kind of like dynamic that Jazir had with Mazoga, with another NPC, going around on his adventures with him. And when I thought more deeply about it, I thought, you know what, Jazir is the kind of guy who he's had someone with him his entire life. For most of his life, that's been his brother, Sphere, as they were going around on their ship, getting into all sorts of hijinks and stuff on the high seas, doing all that shipping company malarkey. He's always sort of been travelling around with someone until now. And I think that maybe Jazir, on some level, is sort of like, he's kind of enjoying his independence, but at the same time, he's a bit like, Jazir is sort of lonely, He does not have anyone to talk to during all of his travels. It's just, the random people he meets in the taverns and stuff like that. And so he wouldn't mind a travelling companion, I think. I think he would actually welcome that, especially since he doesn't have to pay or anything. So, I did keep wondering if maybe we'd run into one of these NPCs added by one of the other mods, one of the adventurers that we keep bumping into. We might end up having one of them join us, but we didn't seem to have any luck with them whatsoever, and it's probably because we're level 1 still. And even so, they're not particularly interesting followers. They're just, they're just basic NPCs that will follow you and fight for you, and that's about it, I think, really. Whereas Vilja is a hell of a lot more than that. If you've ever used the Inigo mod for Skyrim, it's a similar deal to that. It's just a really, 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 really awesome NPC companion with, like, buckets and buckets of dialogue, and they feel more like a sort of little digital person rather than just, some Dragon's Dogma style pawn that follows you around and just does whatever you need them to do, like carry your crap and fight enemies for you. And so I thought to myself, you know what? Screw it. I've in all the Oblivion playthroughs I've done on the channel, I never managed to fit Vilja into any of them until now, and so I figured, you know what? Now might be a good time. So yeah, it's an old mod. The audio quality on the dialogue varies a little bit because it was recorded ages ago. But I've always found it to be a very, very impressive mod. So we're gonna use it for this playthrough and see how we get on with it. Basically, it's been about approximately 1 billion years since I last used Vilja in a playthrough, so I've forgotten a lot about it. But I know she has a bunch of really, really impressive like features and stuff. Like, please talk about traveling together.
Yes.
You can do stuff like you can get her to lead the way.
All right. So, where do you want me to take you?
And she'll actually take us places we want to go, and she'll basically take the lead, and we get to be the follower for a while, which is kind of a neat concept. And you can just also go for sort of randomly generated place things and stuff like that, like a pleasant place nearby, or a nearby dungeon, or a favourite place of yours, or, take the lead and surprise me, or whatever. So you can sort of get Vilja to sort of take the lead and just sort of lead the way if you want to, which is a neat feature.
If you say so.
Bunch of other cool stuff. I think she levels up with the player as well and stuff like that. If we look at how are your skills progressing,
just fine.
Brings up a menu here, and it's a little confusing at first because it looks like you've opened a container, but basically it's like she's level 1, armor rating 0 at the minute. She's not wearing her armor. Disposition 55, health 60, magic 75, so on and so on and so on. You can see all of her stats, which is neat. Check your gear.
All right.
And she's got all of this stuff. You could give her things as well. She's got gold, but we're not going to take that because that wouldn't be very fair. I was wondering if we want to give her anything, but not right now, I don't think.
Yes?
She's got those storage bag things as well, but I'm not totally sure how those work right now. So yeah, alright then, well, let's get out of here.
Yes? You do want us to stay together, right?
Yes, we can tell her to just follow along and equip your armor if we're going to go sort of adventuring outside the city walls and whatnot. How about a nap? Separate for a while. Are you hungry? Sit down, etc. If you do that, she'll go and sit down at a table somewhere. Loads and loads of options here. Let's go, and you won't need any armor. Yeah, we're just going to be around the city.
Lovely. I don't particularly enjoy wearing armor all the time.
Neither does Jazir.
Isn't it kind of odd that Legion guards don't dare to deal with skooma dealers themselves?
Jazir was thinking this just recently. The other day he met this fellow.
I wish I had some ingredients that I could use for this.
Yes, well, I don't have much in the way of ingredients just yet.
I find the Imperial City a bit noisy. I'm not sure I would like to live here for a longer time.
Jazir likes the noise, although it's not very noisy right now. Mostly because he is making lots of noise. The Learned Warlock. Whoa.
How do you do?
Is that the voodoo doll? What? What? What are you looking at? I'm not looking at anything. Jazir is just... You're looking at my hat, aren't you? What? No, you think it's stupid, don't you? No, it's great, honest. You don't think that, you're lying. I know it, don't lie to me. I really think it's a nice hat. I don't believe you, but I'll let you off this once. Don't let me see you staring at my hat again, or I'll turn you into a hawker.
Have a look at my wares. I'm sure there's something to suit you.
Strange fellow. A Nord club. Maybe not. I don't think there's anything here we want, really. Well, some of these rings are amazing, but they're also amazingly expensive. We could also buy a hat. Jazir does not wish to buy a hat, however. Jazir and hats don't get on as a general concept, as we've previously discussed. He has a lot of alchemy ingredients, though. I'm not going to buy any right now, but that is really good to note, actually. He has tons of alchemy ingredients. And soul gems, should we ever need any of those.
Be seeing you.
Yes, goodbye. That place was a little weird.
I like swimming, but those slaughter fishes really scares me.
Slaughter fishes are more annoying than scary, really. You know, you can't go for a swim for more than 5 minutes before one of them is trying to bite your ankles. It is very annoying. If no empty canteens, that's a shame. I've noticed that these things, like it seems to, with like it's very clever. It's like with a script or something. It's like it's a regular barrel that's part of the scenery.
How did that happen?
Until you just stare at it. And then it sort of the game replaces it with the interactive barrel. I mean, you notice it when it happens because it sort of flickers a little bit, but
What is it, citizen? Get your black horse courier here.
Jazir would rather not have your stupid newspaper.
Go on.
Nothing good in it.
I understand money is tight, but buying discounts seems like a bad idea.
Can Jazir go into the lighthouse? Waterfront lighthouse. Yes. That is a very tall ladder. Jazir is, not sure if he's brave enough to try and climb that. Suppose it's not that different from climbing the rigging, huh? Huh. You can't actually get to the top, huh? It's just a... That's weird. Okay. All the way back down again. Oh, God.
While we're here, let's go to the market district and do some shopping.
Good idea. Jazir is running a little lower on cash these days, but he does have a pair of boots and gauntlets to sell. Well, we came to the waterfront, we saw the waterfront, and we didn't conquer it, but we killed some bandits. And got a new follower, so that's not bad.
Ranado at the best defense shop knows a lot about heavy armor. Maybe he could teach you a few things.
Jazir does not wish to learn about heavy armor. It is too big and it makes him slow. And it is uncomfortable to wear.
You have my ear, citizen. Let's hear it.
Keep dropping quick saves. We're in the Imperial City and we haven't had a crash yet, which is very suspicious, frankly. Is there a command you can do, PCB? It purges the cell buffer and it can help prevent crashes a little bit, because it basically just clears the game's memory, I think, for like all the objects loaded into a previous area. So I just basically got rid of all the cached stuff from the...
Why can't I learn how to whistle?
Please never do that again!
Hello there. Of course. Is there anything in particular that you would like to discuss?
Yes, we would like to discuss your attempts at whistling. Could you please stop talking? No, just stop whistling. Oh dear, never mind.
Whatever. Goodbye.
Anyways, we're making our way towards the market district or whatnot.
Is it necessary that you
There's a really cool thing about this mod right here that you might not be aware of. Because the Vilja mod was made back in like 2009-ish, I think. Oh, there's the crash I was waiting for. There we go. And we're back. Anyway, what was I saying?
I never have time to write in my diary.
What is it, citizen?
What was I saying? Right, blah, 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 something about the mod. Yeah. So it was made in 2009, and the mod was originally created by Emma, who had done a bunch of Morrowind mods before that. If you've ever, I don't know if you've ever heard of the White Wolf of Lochen Mountain mod from Morrowind, way back in there. It's a long time ago, so you might not have heard of it. It was a really cool little quest mod, actually. But anyway, she made a companion mod for Oblivion, which was Vilja here. And originally, I think she made it only for herself, her own personal use, and then eventually...
You could just go and pick some nice flowers. It's been a lot of fighting lately, hasn't it?
Well, for Jazir it has been much fighting, but not so much for you. What did you just do? You're behaving a little strangely at the minute.
Pardon me for asking, but are you sure that you know where we are going?
Yes! The market district is this way.
Goodbye.
Just...
Hi there.
Whoa! Okay. If you draw a weapon, she just goes into... That's quite clever. She just whacks all the armor on and then draws a weapon and whatnot if combat occurs. That's...
I don't believe it.
Anyway, God, there's a lot of people talking. I see what you meant about the place being noisy, huh?
Hello there.
The Arboretum is unusually crowded right now for some reason.
Can I beg a favor of you?
Oh, what is it, dude?
Hey, stranger. Can you spare a few coins? I've just been shaken down by that bastard watchman, and he took my last septim.
Take 3. I have plenty to spare.
Blessings of Akatosh upon you.
What's this corrupt Imperial Watchman you are talking about?
The bastard took every coin I had with me. I don't know his name, but I know his face. Ruslan and I were shopping at Jensen's when he accused us of stealing. We turned out our pockets to prove we were innocent, but he didn't care. And we had to pay the fine, or he was going to march us off to jail.
Why didn't Jensen report him?
He's shaken down most of the shopkeepers in the market district. They're all too afraid of him to do anything. Jensen wouldn't even talk about it. Someone ought to do something about him. I'm going to keep a low profile for a while.
That's a quest I don't bump into very often when I play this game, I have to admit. It was one that I was kind of hoping would come up in the Arthur playthrough, and it never did. Anyway, I keep getting interrupted by stuff right now, and I'm trying to talk about this damn mod I've installed.
Let's go to the market district and do some shopping.
Yes, that is the plan. And anyway, a while after Emma published the mod, she got a letter. Well, I think it was an email actually, from Terry Pratchett of all people. Who, if you're not familiar, he's a very famous British fantasy author who wrote the Discworld novels and a whole bunch of other stuff too, including co-writing Good Omens with Neil Gaiman. But he, as it turned out, Terry Pratchett was a huge video game player. He loved video games, and he loved Oblivion in particular. It was a big favourite of his. His 2011 losing the plot here. 2011 novel Snuff was actually partially inspired by him playing Oblivion and going through goblin caves and stuff. Because Snuff is about goblins. And
I've killed far worse than you.
what on earth? Oh, you're all right. You're good. Anyway, he played Oblivion, and he loved Oblivion mods as well. He used lots of mods, and one he was particularly fond of was Vilja, and he ended up writing an email to... I'm just going to go in here for a minute, for a moment's quiet. He wrote an email to Emma and basically said that this mod you've made is absolutely incredible. I think it's brilliant, and well done, basically. And he had a few suggestions on how to improve it and stuff like that. And the two ended up having a regular correspondence between each other. And eventually, over the years, Terry ended up contributing quite a bit to the mod in terms of suggested features and stuff like that, as well as he wrote quite a bit of the voice dialogue for Vilja as well. Which is really cool and interesting. And there's a feature here that I mentioned earlier.
Yes?
We went over. If we go here and then... Where is it? Lead the way. So there's this feature where she can take you places and stuff like that. Or you can say, I'm lost, lead the way, please. She can lead you out of a dungeon if you get lost in a dungeon. And the reason this is here is because Terry Pratchett, unfortunately, he suffered with a rare form of Alzheimer's disease in his later years. And it made a lot of things very difficult for him. He had to sort of... The only way he could write his books is because he struggled to read anything, and he couldn't use the keyboard on his computer anymore to type stuff. So he had to sort of, dictate verbally to the computer using software in order to write his later books, for example. And obviously, he had memory problems, like short-term memory problems, which made playing games difficult as well. And this feature is something that he suggested, and that Emma and the other person who worked on the mod, Charles, I think, both worked on to implement here, so that basically if Terry was playing the game and he got lost and he didn't know where he needed to go, he could talk to Vilja and she would take him where he needed to go, or help him out of the dungeon if he got lost in it and stuff like that. And that's kind of why this feature here, which is a really cool feature, honestly, that's why it exists, because it's not only just a neat little feature that most NPC companion mods don't even have, but also it's a really cool little sort of accessibility thing to help people play the game who have memory issues or suffer with Alzheimer's or whatever. And it's really neat. And yeah, Terry Pratchett, he loved this mod and he played it for hours and hours and hours, and this here helped him to do it as well. And Terry Pratchett is, of course, probably my favourite author of all time. So when I found out about this a few years ago, his involvement and connection with this particular mod for Oblivion, I was actually kind of slightly blown away by that, because I'd never realised. But yeah, really cool. Okay, so if you didn't know that watching at home, I guess you learned something today as well. But yeah, Sir Terry was a big fan of this mod, and that's another reason I wanted to include it, really, because I'm a big fan of Sir Terry's. So
goodbye.
Oh, it's this weirdo again.
This is nice, isn't it?
It's nice and quiet. Yes, it is.
How?
Are we hungry? Yeah, always hungry and thirsty.
What can I do for you? Can I interest you in some of my wares?
A bottle of wine, the good stuff.
A bargain at any price.
And food, dude. Just a whole wheel of cheese, a carrot, boar meat.
I wouldn't make
corn.
You bought that for a song.
Several potatoes. Just gonna stuff my face.
A bargain. Farewell.
What's the time? Well, we can have a late lunch.
You know what I would fancy right now? A sweet roll. Or a sweet cake.
Vilja, you are in luck. Jazir has a sweet roll. Just do not ask where it came from.
I love sweet rolls. Please give it to me. Thank you.
You're welcome.
Goodbye.
Let's see. Oh, there's a thing.
You wanted to talk?
Yeah, let's sit down or something. Yeah.
Sure.
There we go. She's gonna figure it out eventually. She's just gonna go and sit on just a completely unrelated chair. Yep, looks like that's what she's gonna do. That's fine, whatever. Anyway, they did a superb job with their AI, but it's still Oblivion at the end of the day, so there's a limit. But anyway, yeah. But to be fair though, for 2009, having an NPC mod with decent programmed sort of AI and also fully voice acted, that was like virtually unheard of. That was crazy stuff. Because there are a bunch of other like Oblivion companion NPC mods out there. If you go looking on the Nexus for them and stuff like that, but the problem with most of them is the vast majority of them are not voice acted, because it was sort of back in the days when that was not a normal thing. Skyrim's done a lot in that department for sort of normalizing the whole process of voice acting all NPCs and all mods. You know, sort of take it for granted these days. But back in Oblivion, back in the day, it was quite unusual to have an NPC that's actually voiced from a mod. Coffee, boar meat, the whole cheese wheel, carrot, corn, potatoes, and can't drink anymore right now. I think that's sorted us out though. I'm gonna have to go into the innie and tweak that. I just need to remember to do it. The hunger and whatnot, it seems to progress way too fast. And the problem with it is that it deteriorates your stats as well, which is kind of I don't know how much longer I want to stick with it for. I really do like some of its features though, like being able to drink from the wells and fill up your canteens with booze and stuff like that. But I think I'm probably I'm gonna try and tweak it first.
Hello.
And if I'm not satisfied with it after that, I'll probably just get rid of it. Although I don't like to uninstall a mod halfway through a playthrough. It's always a recipe for disaster, really. So anyway, so Imperial corruption. Oh yeah, we can talk to Jency. She also wants us to do that thing about Thorinir, doesn't she? Why don't we go have a chat with Thorinir while we're about it then? Apparently he has really good deals, so maybe we'll even buy something.
What kind of deal can I make for you today?
Oh my god, he's got that classic Oblivion wood elf head that's wider than it is tall.
I have the best prices in town. Why? I'm smart, and you're smart. We know the right people. We get the best deals.
Tell me about your inventory.
What about my inventory?
Where do you get it all so cheap?
Well, that would be a trade secret. I can't divulge how I pass the great savings on to you now, can I? Just like a baker not revealing his best recipes, I must keep my sources anonymous, or every merchant in town would use them. Suffice to say, they are quite reliable and low cost. That way, you walk out with a full coin purse. What can I interest you in?
What have you actually got, then? Some very expensive trousers. Not that much else. So, you got a Vala stone, I guess. Ooh, look at that. The icon's gone all weird. It's got like the weight feather and the coin symbol at the same time. What's that about? Well, nothing that Jazeera is particularly interested in.
Goodbye.
Yes, goodbye. Well, we didn't get anywhere with that, did we?
I'd like to explore the northern parts of SorcererDave a bit further. It doesn't necessarily have to be today, but, you know, one of these days.
How north is north? Because, no world map. Jazeera has to go north-ish, near Cheydinhall, to find, what was it we were trying to find there? Down a hole? Ah, yeah, a goblin lair near where he was ambushed. Find either his friend Elahai or the remains of his trade goods, or both. Yeah, we have to go do that, that's the thing.
Let's hear it.
War veteran.
Let's go and have a chat with Jensine.
Have you ever shopped to get this discounts? Have you seen the latest
Any news about that certain task we discussed?
Well.
I told you he wouldn't cooperate. Your best bet is to shadow him and see where he goes.
This seems dreadfully underhanded to Jazeera. But, well, if you're going to pay him, What about this corrupt Imperial Watchman?
Who told you that?
2 of your customers told me.
Rustlin and Larank. Those idiots don't know when to stay quiet. Look, I'm not telling you anything, stranger. I don't trust you.
What?
Make it quick.
But I am helping you. Ugh. Alright, let's have a go at this. I think she likes these 2. Doesn't like these 2, so...
What? Sorry. Real. Don't. Please. Remarkable. No.
Like that.
That's just
always get the small one on the hated topics, and
Whatever
that
you
seems to
want.
work out best in the long run if you do it that way around. Okay.
That works for me. Who told you?
Yep.
Rust.
Oh, god damn it. Never mind.
Well, have a look around. You won't find better price.
Well, Jazir offered to help with it. He was rebuffed. And that is that, I suppose. What time is it? 5 p.m.
How are you?
We could go and follow Thorinir, I guess. When does he clock off, I wonder? They usually finish around 8 o'clock-ish, don't they, in this game?
Goodbye.
Go ahead. What's the latest? I understand money is tight, but buying discounts...
The big green glowy
seems like
sword.
a bad
I have to
idea.
admit, when Celine drew that sword on me,
Some things are worth
I thought for a horrible moment she had a glass longsword until I remembered, oh wait, no, she's supposed to have a steel one. The effect on it isn't that amazing, is it, really? Absorb fatigue 20 points for 1 second on strike. But I think if I get the... Oh, I don't remember what it's called. It's not Tinker's Tools, it's the other thing. The imbuement kit or something. We can get that thing from a trader that allows us to upgrade it as we increase our own level. So, like, we can have the sword level with us if necessary. Improve its magical effect and whatnot. Well...
I'd like to explore the northern parts of Syria.
Yes, you mentioned that.
It doesn't necessarily have to be today, but, you know, one of these days.
So the magistrate prosecutor's office, yes. Let's be careful not to end up in there, huh? Oh, you're miming now, huh? Hello.
Yes?
Sorry,
You too.
I will get out of your way. Anyway, ladies and gents, I think we're done for today. I had to go get my dinner in real life anyway, and I think we've been recording for about an hour. So, thanks very much for tuning in, folks. Jazir got a new sword, he got a fancy new pair of boots and a fancy pair of gloves that we're probably going to sell, actually. We tried to help with the Watchman thing, but Jensine wasn't interested for some reason, and so you are better at singing than you are at whistling. You have my permission to sing, but do not whistle. I like how his ears perk up, actually, if he looks directly at her. At least they did for a minute. They perked up when he was looking at someone. By default, they just seem to be swept back a bit, which on a cat usually is not a great sign, but hey. Anyway, ladies and gents, let's just drop a save here, shall we? Thanks so much for tuning in. Yeah, we did the Bloated Float quest, we picked up Vilja here, and very soon, just going to continue running out of money, and he's actually going to have to be like, okay, fine. Off to Anvil or Cheydinhall we go.
Well, I do have one complaint regarding the merchants here. They want my money. Preferably all of it.
Yes, and they don't like it when another merchant just stops undercutting them either. And of course they don't like it, but they want to strong arm me into not doing it, which does not seem fair to Jazir, but fine. Ladies and gents, I'll catch you next time. Toodaloo.